Welcome back, Tigers. I'm Cody Eich, joined alongside Bray, Woodall, and two special guests, Macy Childers and Aaliyah Scarborough. How are y'all doing today?
Good.
So, you guys are 24-3 right now. How much has the chemistry of your team helped you get that record?
I think it's real important, just the way our team has that bond on the field. We all can flow together, and all the talent works good together.
And I think it's also good to know that whatever we have off the field, it just needs to stay. When we get on the field, we're teammates, and we have to remember that.
You guys have any rituals you do beforehand to get ready into the vibe?
Well, we always pray, and then we always do Tiger Pep.
Can you give me what is Tiger Pep exactly? You don't have to do it. I'm not if it's
well, it's just a little chant we say to the fans, just to get the fans kind of hype before games. So,
Bray, do you have any questions?
How much is how much does the fans being hype? How much does that affect your team? Does that get y'all going too?
I think it's a lot.
Yeah,
just
I think
having
we
our
play
fans. I think our fans having them included into the game, it just helps us get more into the game because we know they're there to watch us and get us going. So,
and our team feeds off of energy, so just having the more people there, the better. Our team just plays really good.
Does whenever you do let's say you hit a bomb, you hear the fans, they're all screaming and shouting. How does that make you feel? Give me an example of how that makes you feel.
Oh, amazing! I mean, there's
good.
No better feeling than that.
Yeah.
All right, we do have a game. Who's most likely to? We're gonna ask you guys some questions. You guys are just gonna tell us who on the team is most likely to do that, or who most likely is, or who else most likely is. So, who is the dynamic duo of your guys' team?
Oh gosh, dynamic duo.
We can come back to it if you guys don't know off the top of your head.
We might have to go back to that one.
Yeah.
Who's most likely to be late?
Oh, Macy Childers.
Me or Jesse Piles? Yeah.
Who's the best smile?
Oh, Hannah has a really good one.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Who is the best dressed?
I'm gonna have to go either me or Jocelyn on that one.
Yeah.
Confidence.
Yep.
Who is the loudest out of all of y'all?
Jessie.
Yeah.
Does she get the crowd going?
No. She just talks a lot.
Who has the best hair?
I don't know. Emily has good hair.
Yeah, Emily does have good hair.
Who is the best sportsmanship?
Definitely Aaliyah. I feel
Oh,
good leader.
Who is the best leader?
Ooh, out of that, we got three.
Yeah,
I think good ones. Yeah.
It'd be Aaliyah, Jordan, or me.
Yeah.
Who is the best car?
Oh, Aaliyah,
Me.
probably. Yeah.
What do you drive?
GMC truck lifted.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've
Yeah.
seen it. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Who is the most photogenic?
Oh, I don't know.
I think Hannah's. Or
Yeah.
Taylor.
Taylor or Hannah.
Yeah.
Who's the best singer?
Oh, none of us can sing.
Yeah.
None
Jesse
of us.
tries to, but
None of y'all wearing choir or anything?
no.
Nope.
Who's the best dancer?
Gosh.
Celebration.
Kenya.
Kenya. No, she's so bad. It's gonna have
She
me or
dances
Gilly.
the most though.
Think about the celebrations.
Gilly's good.
Who's got the best
It's
celebrations?
nobody
Gilly.
dances whenever they hit a
Gilly
home
has
run.
the best celebration.
Who's the most dependable?
Aaliyah. Very responsible.
Who has the best energy?
Probably
I
me.
think probably Macy.
Yeah.
Who's the funniest?
Kenya.
Kenya. Yeah.
Who's the hardest worker?
Probably me or Aaliyah.
Yeah. Emily Evans works hard too.
Yeah.
She's a good player.
If you want to ask your last one, because I'm back on the dynamic duo one.
Who's the social butterfly?
Oh gosh. There's all of us.
Yeah, I
We're-
think we all talk.
I don't think there's one moment where we're just not all talking at the same time.
I think Rose.
Yeah.
Rose is probably our.
And then I'm back to the dynamic duo question. If you guys have a dynamic duo, if not, it's fine.
I think it'd probably be Taylor, Emily. If
Yeah,
anyone.
just the middle infield.
Yep.
Well, that's all the questions that we have for you guys. Thank you so much for today and giving us your time and everything like that. We'll be right back with the NFL segment of the TSR podcast. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys there.
Thank you.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU. Because life is better in balance.
Welcome back to another segment of the Tiger Sports Report. I'm joined alongside Bray Woodall, Jaden Stewart, and Noah Manis. Jaden, what are your overall takeaways from Week 2 of the NFL season?
A takeaway I have is the Rams played really good. I thought they were going to be bad this year just because Stafford aging and Cooper Kupp getting hurt.
Yeah.
But I think they could finish second in the NFC West, I believe. Puka Nacua, their rookie, he battled with some injuries in college, but he's stood up and played really well. He is a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, and he's just living up to it, and he's played really well. And also Kyron Williams stepping up, taking the job from Cam Akers, and I'm really impressed by Rams so far.
I saw they inactivated Cam Akers too. Like
he's on the trade block.
Yeah, he's on the trade. I was about to say
is.
that. Yeah, I was about to say that.
I think the Rams have played very well. They lost last week, unfortunately. We all knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I feel like though. But Matthew Stafford does tend to have one target. We've seen it every time, like Calvin Johnson, Cooper Kupp, and now it's Puka.
Whatever.
He had 20 targets last game. I mean, that's just crazy. So, I know you run a Bengals page, Mr. Noah.
Not anymore.
Well, you ran a Bengals page.
I ran.
What are your thoughts on the Bengals?
I think them going 0-2 is not really a big deal. I think they'll bounce back later in the season. I think Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, they'll all get back into the groove. I think in the AFC North is a really, really tough division to be competing in, especially with the Browns, Steelers, and maybe the Ravens. I mean, the Ravens are iffy even though they beat the Bengals. But I think the Bengals will finish second or first in the AFC North division.
I think I got the Browns over them. Bray, what are your
that's what I mean. If they finish second, I have the Browns.
Yeah, I feel like the Browns are the only competition there. I think the Steelers are going to go negative for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
Bray, what are your overall thoughts on Week 2? We didn't get your opinion on it.
A takeaway that I have is Daniel Jones looked like playoff Eli Manning coming back in that second half, dude. In the first 6 quarters of the season, they got outscored 60-0. That's probably the worst 6-quarter start in like NFL history. 60-0.
Yeah, that is actually crazy.
And they came back. Saquon had a crazy diving touchdown into the hit the pylon. It was crazy. He just looked like prime Eli Manning out there, dude, in the playoffs versus the Patriots. That's what he looked like. That's literally what it was crazy. He was completing every pass.
Targeting.
Actually crazy. Touched, bro. Every 20-yard pass after 20-yard pass. It was crazy. He was marching down the field. Josh Dobbs played good too. I mean, like it's the first time Daniel Jones was actually the better quarterback in that game. So
I was about to say the Cardinals looked not bad. They haven't looked bad.
Half,
they didn't look bad the other game either.
No, they didn't.
And I think personally they're the worst team in the NFL. If you look at that roster, I think they're the worst team in the NFL.
Yes.
The Saints are there, but the Cardinals I think are the worst team in the NFL. But they've even though they lost both of their games, they've surprised me a lot so far. I don't know what they're gonna do with everybody they have, like James Conner and like Hollywood. I don't know what they're gonna do like throughout the whole season. Like I don't know if they're gonna keep trying to go for because they were obviously trying to win. I know that's obviously your go-to plan, but I think they know that they're not good enough to make the playoffs or anything like that. So I don't know if they're going to like continue going that way or if they're eventually gonna be like, hey. Maybe they did that last game in the second half. That's why they came back. Yeah. Who knows? I don't know if they're going to try to go for a high pick or if they're going to actually try to win some games, which is not going to happen either way. But I did mention the Saints there. What are your thoughts on Derek Carr and specifically so far?
I do think he could be better. We've only seen week 1, so it's hard to tell. But he does have to step up. He has Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave, and Michael Thomas. And then Alvin Kamara will be coming back. If they don't miss the playoffs, they're going to move on from him. He just has all the pieces he needs. So he really has to step up and be like his earlier years in Oakland and for the Raiders and be a better quarterback.
I do agree. I just don't think he's capable of doing that. He showed for a while that he is not capable of doing anything like that. The clutch time comes around, he gets scared. He starts shaking. I just don't think he's a very clutch quarterback at all.
I say he had enough pieces last year in Oakland. I mean, they weren't perfect, but not every team's perfect. But I think they had at least had enough to make the playoffs. Darren Waller, even though he's a little hurt, Jacobs, like the rushing leader, and Devontae Adams, like really, come on, Josh McDaniels isn't that bad of a coach. I mean, like, I think he should have made the playoffs last year too, and I will not be surprised if we see another Derek Carr moment this year.
At least once a year, Derek Carr moment. A year. Noah, what are your overall takeaways, or at least one of them?
I didn't really watch the Saints game, but I did watch the Cowboys and Jets game. Going with the Cowboys defense, Micah Parsons, is becoming that real leader up front for them. And I think when they have, Trayvon Diggs and Stephon Gilmore in the back, they really don't have to worry about, the secondary and passing. They can really be aggressive up front with DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons because, when you're like, if I were to be new and watching football and I see number 11 on the field, I'd be like, who is that?
This dude's a stud.
Yeah, I'd be like, this guy's amazing at what he does. So, yeah, that's my
just
takeaway.
slapping 350-pound linebackers out of the way.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the Cowboys have to worry about getting their cornerback one getting burnt every play. Trayvon Diggs, but he can guard the wide receiver 2 on the team. He's pretty good at that. I want to say he's pretty good at guarding the wide receiver 1. Wide open touchdown, Kendrick Bourne. But I agree.
Does anybody have anything else to add?
I want to add something. The Russell Wilson Hail Mary at the end of the Broncos game, absolutely crazy. Shout out to Marvin Mims, by the way. He led that team in receiving and that long touchdown. But yeah, dude, they should have. That was a PI. That was on the 2-point conversion. Yeah. That was a PI. I don't care what anybody says. They should have got it, dude.
That's why I was avoiding that. I was,
They should have gotten that. They would have won in overtime, dude. Oh my goodness. But shout out to Sam Howell too, dude. He's playing fantastic. I told a buddy of mine whenever he got drafted, I said he's gonna be a monster. Watch once he starts, dude, he's gonna be lights out, and he's been proving me right.
I just don't like Sam Howell. I just don't like Sam Howell, man. I just see his face and I get mad. No, I see his face and I just get mad. Yeah. But I think that's all we have for this segment of the TSR. Next segment will be fantasy football. Our host will be me and Braden Woodall also. We'll see you guys there.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety in our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms, and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
Welcome back to the NFL Fantasy segment of the TSR podcast. We are joined alongside Austin Randall, Jaden Stewart, and Braden Woodall, and myself, Cody Eich. How are you doing, Austin?
I'm doing amazing. How about yourself, Cody?
I'm doing pretty good. Austin, what are some starts and sits that you would have for this week coming up?
Some starts. I would say Jordan Love. He's one of the most added quarterbacks in fantasy football right now. And another start I would have is DeAndre Swift. He went amazing last game, 27 fantasy points.
Are you not scared that DeAndre Swift might, I don't know when Ken Gainwell is going to come back, but are you not scared that team's such a committee that, he'll perform less? Or I'm not saying that he's obviously going to perform less or not getting 32 every week, but do you think he'll go back to how he was week 1, sharing a bunch of carries? Or
I think that after last week's performance, he'll be getting a lot more carries in the following weeks.
What about you, Jaden? Do you have any starts and sits?
I'd definitely start Kenneth Walker. He had a slow start week 1, but this past week he got 17 points. He played really well, and they're just going to lean on him because their game plan just wasn't good week 1, and now they're getting comfortable, getting him into the passing game, rushing game. I'd definitely start Kenneth Walker, and I'd bench Justin Fields. It's been 2 weeks, and he just isn't doing good rushing this year either, and his passing's just horrendous, so I'd definitely bench him.
As always. As always, terrible passer. That dude couldn't throw the football last year. Can't throw the football this year. Don't know what he did. I don't know what he did in practice over the summer, but clearly not working on his passing. Yeah. Brad, do you have any starts and sits for us?
A start I have is he's on my fantasy team, and I don't want Josh Jacobs' owner to panic. You know what I mean? He had back-to-back games of 10 less points, but I think against Pittsburgh, he's actually gonna pop off for that game. And a start I have, if he plays, it goes up against what Austin said, but Kenneth Gainwell. I think Kenneth Gainwell can really mess up that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense if he plays. I understand that DeAndre Swift gets more targets through the air, but Ken Gainwell was getting a bunch of carries week 1, and I don't see that really stopping against the Buccaneers if he comes back. So.
I was going to kind of ask you a question similar to that. Are you not scared that DeAndre Swift is going to take carries away from Kenneth Gainwell since he did so good?
I think that I think DeAndre Swift had most of his yards. He didn't even get really touched. You know what I mean? Like the
that's
offensive
true.
line was just so good. So I think they're gonna Kenneth Gainwell could do the same thing against the Buccaneers, right? But I think they're gonna utilize him more in the receiving game this game. DeAndre Swift more than the running game like Ken Gainwell. I think Ken Gainwell will get the goal line carries and stuff like that. So I'd start Ken Gainwell and Josh Jacobs.
Gotcha. Austin, do you have any waiver wire pickups for us for week 3?
Yes, I would say Brock Purdy. He's another top added quarterback, and he's doing so well in San Francisco. He's really solidified him as a starting quarterback for the franchise.
I agree. If you're having like a quarterback like Justin Fields, not performing well, how like everyone was saying. I mean, like a streaming, I had to do the same thing last year. Russell Wilson, did terrible for me in the beginning of the season. I had to pick up Justin Fields, and he played pretty good. I had to pick up Derek Carr, Jacoby Brissett. Like I had to pick up all
the
these
roster.
quarterbacks. Yeah,
every
I
roster.
had to pick up all these quarterbacks, and so I agree with the Brock Purdy take.
Jaden, do you have any waiver wire pickups?
I pick up Nico Collins these past 2 weeks. He's done really good. Him and C.J. Stroud have formed early chemistry and just looks like his favorite target, so I pick him up. I also picked up Hunter Henry. He's got 14 points in both weeks. It's really hard to come by a tight end after a draft just because they're not really consistent other than Kelsey and Andrews. So I definitely pick up Hunter Henry. He's gained quite a bit of touchdowns and yards. And Mac Jones likes him as a big target, so I pick him up.
I forget Mac Jones is a person sometimes. I know that's not fantasy, but I just forget he's a person sometimes. Bray, do you have any waiver wire pickups for us?
If you're in a deep league, I would look at Robert Woods. I know that might sound kind of crazy, but he's gotten like 10 targets week 1 and maybe 9 targets week 2. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And even if you're in if you have a tight end, how most tight ends don't get over 10 points unless you're George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Kyle Pitts, Dallas Goedert, or whatever.
Kyle Pitts.
He could any given week.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's
But
true.
if you need a tight end in one of your deep leagues, Sam Laporta. I mean, like Goff loves that guy. He's a rookie. He had 5 catches his first game. That's good for a rookie tight end. That's really good. So I think Sam Laporta is a really good streaming tight end that you can have if you have like Pat Freiermuth who's not living up to expectations. You know what I mean? Or Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. You know what I mean? You probably thought he was going to be the starter, but he's the backup. So put Sam Laporta in there over Dawson Knox and stuff like that.
I have one more question for the whole table. What are your guys' opinions on your team this week? How did your matchups go? We'll start with you this time, Jaden.
I'm in 4 leagues, and it looked like I only won one of them.
Okay.
I'm doing really bad this year. Yeah, I have Justin Fields in 2 of mine, and he's not doing very good. And then 2 and Tyreek both disappointed me in one of my leagues. So yeah, not having a great week.
Not surprised Tua, disappointed you, but.
Anyways, Austin, what are your thoughts on your team's performance this week?
I'm in 3 leagues right now, 2 of them which I am losing, and thankfully in one of my leagues I am just barely beating Bray right now. I need Chris Olave to not get 14 points.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I need Chris Olave to get about 14 points for me against the Carolina Panthers as of this recording, and it's Monday, and they play tonight. So I need a Chris Olave touchdown, a couple catches. You know what I mean? It's against the Panthers. Like, come on, J.C. Horn's hurt. Come on, you got a touchdown in you, Chris Olave. You can win me the game. I'm a DM him before the game. Give him a little prep talk. Yep.
$5.
$5.
I am winning one of my leagues because I picked up Puka Nuka and he did really good, and then I am losing the other league because I'm playing against him, and I also was playing against T.J. Hawkinson, and I don't know what happened. I didn't think it was that hard to. I mean, obviously it's kind of hard to guard him, but I was watching the game. I was crying every time he caught a ball. Tears were rolling down my eye.
Yeah, you're playing Logan. I play Logan next week. He has a real good team,
Yeah.
so I'm not really excited to play him next week. You know what I mean? But hey, hopefully we can get back to one-on-one. I lost last week. We're gonna make a comeback against you this week, and we're gonna bounce back against Logan next week. Give the prep talk to the boys.
Good luck to all you, even you, Mr. Big. I'm sorry for your 25% win percentage over there, but good luck to everybody. Does anybody have anything else to add before? Nope. All right. Thank you for watching this segment of the TSR podcast. We'll be going to the college segment with join alongside Cherish Booth and JoJo David.
For families who like to build their wealth while staying liquid, we have flexible rate CDs to keep your funds working hard, even when you're not. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tiger Sports Report. I'm Cherish Booth, joined alongside Bray Woodall, JoJo David, and Cody Eich. Let's talk some college football. JoJo, what are your thoughts on Colorado's performance so far?
In all honesty, that last game was kind of scary. I know I was watching it. You know, there's been so much hype about Colorado as of right now, but to have that kind of game against Colorado State and they still rush the field and everything. I mean, although you guys have had success in a while, it's kind of scary to see that they almost lost to that Colorado State team who just doesn't really look the best.
Yeah.
Bray?
Yeah, they should have blown them out of the water, but Travis Hunter did go to the hospital midway through the game, so prayers for him, obviously. I hope he's all right, but he starts at corner and receiver, so that's obviously a big part of the team.
Speaking on that, I just saw it earlier. He's going to be out for 3 games now. It's like his like liver's messed up or something.
That's
so
crazy.
3 games out.
Dang.
And their schedule coming up is Oregon, USC, and Arizona State.
Bo Nix is going to light that defense. So.
Yeah.
I hate Bo Nix. I think the Colorado game was scary. I do think they should have won by a lot more. I think it came a lot from the Colorado State just being like, since it was a rivalry match, obviously, they had a lot of flags that were just unnecessary. There was one play where an O-lineman just shoved one of their players. The play was over. No reason. Like, flag drawn. Like, they had got back like 10 yards. They would have got a first down. It was like, he had no reason to do that. But since it's a rivalry game, I mean.
They really had nothing to lose. They were complete underdogs. They were 0-1 going into the game. So, I mean, like, they played their heart out, but they had nothing to lose.
I mean, yeah, they were making a statement, and I think the statement was made. I mean, even though they lost, they were just making a statement.
So, Alabama has been up in the air, and people are starting to question the Tide. Cody, talk to me about the Alabama dynasty.
I don't think the dynasty's over necessarily, but I think that it's definitely in I don't know how to word it, a lower stage. It's not as big as it was. They're not as good as they were. Taking a loss from Texas and then barely beating a terrible team 17-3. I mean, like I said, I don't think they're over. I think they're still a good football team, but I just think that they either need to fix something and like figure out what's wrong, which any team could do, or it is slowing down and maybe it will come to an end. But I don't think it's an end right now.
Alabama has been in such a dominant role this past, decade or two, and they're held to such high expectations that them losing to Texas, like a top 4 teams, this makes them is the dynasty over talk. Yeah. So I think their season's over, but their quarterbacks, dude, it's bad. It's bad. I think they'll get some recruits in. They're still in the SEC. They're still Alabama. They still have Saban. If Saban stays there, I think they'll be good. They just need another quarterback, dude. The Jalen Monroe cannot. They just can't do the backup. They had the 3rd string in, dude. None of them had over 100 yards. It was bad. It was really bad.
I know they're starting Milroe for this upcoming against Ole Miss. I think that Milroe, he just can't throw the ball. He really just can't throw the ball, in honesty. He has a lot of talent with speed. I think that they'll be fine with him finishing out as the starter this year because Tyler Buckner is not the answer. Oh, my goodness. He sucked at Notre Dame. He sucked in Alabama. Doesn't even change. So I think they just lack recruiting right now. Because Georgia's just taking all those guys, in all honesty. They're just slacking in recruiting, and offensively, they're just really not it. And it's going to hurt, especially not having offensive passers at your quarterback position. So that's really what's taking them down.
Okay, JoJo, back to you. Can FSU make the playoffs?
No. In all honesty, no. I don't know why. I mean, Coach Norvell's he's a good coach, but we've seen from the past it's been the same. And I really like this Florida State team. I really do like them, but 31-29 against Boston College, man. And this is all based off that one win against LSU. You know what I mean? And LSU, they're still trying to get it figured out too. I think FSU is they're not a top 5 team. They're a top 10 team, possibly that 9-10 area. Jordan Travis is by far our Heisman, and we're seeing some guys stepping up receiving wise. It's insane. What's his name? I don't know. Obviously, Johnny Wilson. Who's the other number 4? Transfer from Michigan State. What's his name? That dude is insane. Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman. Perfect. Yeah, those dudes are insane. Offensively, they're really good. I just don't really see much in the defense, and Coach Norvell hasn't really been successful with them so far. I don't see them being a college football playoff team, but
they FSU, in my opinion, has the best defensive line in the country. But they let Thomas Castellanos just completely destroy that defense. 300 yards passing, almost 100 on the ground, a touchdown running on the ground, and 3 through the air.
You said they're the best D-line in the country?
They have the best D-line in the country.
They're up there, but I don't know about that.
They have the best defensive line in the country.
You can make arguments.
They have the best defensive line in the country, in my opinion. But I think that just that game, it was just a sad game. But after this game, I think they still have a chance. Yeah, but this game, dude, Boston College, really, you're supposed to blow them out like how Oklahoma did Tulsa. You know what I mean? So, I think I don't think they can anymore. I think they could have, but not anymore.
Cody?
I know we made fun of Alabama for winning 17-3 against a bad team, but at the end of the day, a win is a win. So I do think they have a chance to sneak in there. They played very badly against Boston College, which is a team they should not play bad against. That team is, they're talented. They are a talented team, but just only winning by 2 against Boston College is like, you know, it's up there. It's iffy, but I do think they have a chance to sneak into the playoffs.
Do you think they'll still be top 4 after the polls come out?
I don't think they'll be top 4.
I think the polls are already out, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Do you guys see them winning the college? Do you think they can make the playoff?
I think they can make the playoffs.
Yeah,
really?
I think it's possible, but I think it's unlikely.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I have for you guys.
Well, thank you guys for watching the Tiger Sports Report for this week. We'll see you guys next time.